hard to know how to even start with this video, but I'll just cut right to the news. I was just diagnosed with Lyme disease. This is something that we thought that we had ruled out years ago, and so I never expected to be going down this road. It feels like finally, after all these years that we've been searching for answers, we found something that really might explain most or all of the reason why I have been so sick over the last years. And something that I don't talk about a lot but is a part of my story is that I was sick in high school. When I was about 15 years old, I got pretty sick. I missed most of my junior year of high school. We went to lots of doctors searching for answers, and I was actually tested for some tick-borne illnesses, and I tested positive for a few of them, but because I never recalled a tick bite, because I never had the classic bullseye rash, they said no, it has to be a false positive. You can't have Lyme disease or any of these tick-borne illnesses because you don't remember being bitten. And so I was never treated, and thankfully after I was sick in high school, I had a few really good years where I was doing pretty well. I had some problems here and there, but I was able to do a lot and be very, very active. So I'm thankful for that, but obviously almost 4 years ago now, I got really sick again and never got better. This time around, it has been a lot worse. Over the last few months, we have done a lot of research on chronic Lyme disease and Lyme disease treatments and testing and doctors, and it's all been very overwhelming. To be honest, the idea of having Lyme disease and being treated for chronic Lyme disease is more scary to me than any other diagnosis I've had, any surgery I've had. There are just a lot of controversies and unknowns about treating for Lyme disease. So the appointment that I had last week went really well. It was with one of the top Lyme disease specialists. Even after that appointment, we just all felt like this is the right road for me to go down. Over the years, I've been diagnosed with a lot of things. I've been diagnosed with EDS, with POTS, with Chiari malformation, intracranial hypertension, tethered cord syndrome, craniocervical instability, adrenal insufficiency, SIBO, and the list goes on. But and it doesn't mean that like I don't have those things, but nothing ever really explained why I went from being like a healthy child to very ill. And when I was diagnosed with EDS, it kind of felt like that was the real answer of, you know, why I had all these health problems, and EDS really did connect all those other diagnosis that I had. That felt like it was the answer, but it never really explained why I didn't have too many issues as a child, and why it was pretty sudden that my health started to deteriorate. I always thought that there must have been something underlying that caused my EDS to get worse. This doctor actually said that Lyme disease and bartonella can attack the connective tissue and break down connective tissue, and when he said that, it was like the light kind of went off in my head, and I was like, yeah, I think this really is it. The last few months I've just kind of been in shock from all of this, and it's been a learning curve. I've spent a lot of time researching and learning, and I know I still have a lot to learn. And people with Lyme disease will know that like there are so many different types of treatments and routes that you can go down for treating chronic Lyme disease, and that in itself is really overwhelming because you have people swearing by you have to go all natural or you have to go the antibiotics route. Unfortunately, a chronic Lyme disease is not well recognized in the medical community, and most doctors really don't know much at all about it, and that alone just kind of is scary. It's amazing how much it can impact somebody's life, and not only that, it actually can kill people. People can die of heart failure from chronic Lyme disease or neurological complications, and the fact that it's not well recognized in the medical community, to me, is just shocking and scary, and I hope that that changes in the future, and I hope that I can do my best to spread awareness of it. But for now, for me, it's just I need to start treatment and I need to see how it goes for me. And if you're not familiar with Lyme disease, the quicker you're diagnosed and the quicker you're treated, the better the outcome from the treatment will be and the easier the treatment will be. And so the fact that I've had it for at least 9 years now kind of puts me at a disadvantage, but it really doesn't mean that there isn't hope for improvement. He was honest and he said, you're not a mild case, you're not an average case, you know, your case is severe and it's going to be a long road for treatment. So it's looking like it could be about 18 months to 2 years of treatment. For me, it's different for everyone, and it's kind of like a trial and error process. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where with the treatments you often get worse before you get better, and that's something that I'm really not looking forward to. If you have watched some of my videos this year, you'll know that I had a decline in my health in January and February, and that was because of something that I had called a Herxheimer reaction to a natural Lyme disease treatment that I started trying under the direction of a doctor that I was seeing. It's a long story that I'll save for another day, but the Herxheimer reaction is what sent me into a downward spiral kind of with my health in the last few months, and so I'm definitely nervous about starting this treatment, but I feel like it's the right thing to do. So if it helps in the long run and it makes me worse for a while, like, it'll be worth it. Through this process, as you know, we have been suspecting Lyme disease and researching Lyme disease and learning more about it, a lot of things have been like running through my mind, like, where would I be if I was treated earlier for Lyme? Like, could I have avoided needing a craniocervical fusion and the Chiari decompression surgery? Like, maybe. I don't know. I guess I won't ever know the answer to those questions, but it's hard, you know, when you put so much faith in doctors to help you and find answers, and in the end it takes 9 years to be correctly diagnosed. I don't know. It's sad, but I'm thankful that we know now and that we can start treating now, and hopefully that I can start seeing improvements as soon as possible. I hope that this is the answer that we've been looking for years. It kind of feels like it is. We'll just have to wait and see. So this week I will be starting my first round of antibiotic treatment for Lyme, and thankfully the doctor that I'm seeing does oral antibiotics versus IV. He feels like there isn't enough evidence to show that IV is any better, and of course orals are safer. I won't have to get a central line or anything like that for treatment at this point, which is good. Usually when it comes to like medical treatments and surgeries and things like that, I kind of have like a come what may and take it as it comes type of attitude, and I don't get very nervous or anxious about like medical related things. But I always say that I'm nervous about this. It feels right, so I'm not worried about that part, but like the more research that I do and the more that like we pray about it, the more that it's felt like the right road for us to be going down. Yeah, that's the update. I have Lyme disease, and I never thought that I would be saying that, but here we are. So wish me luck as I start my first round of antibiotics for Lyme treatment. I'll be sure to share how it goes. And thank you guys so much for following along on my journey and for encouraging me. It really means a lot. I hope you guys are hanging in there. I'm praying for you, I'm rooting for you, and we can do hard things.